see some of the cinematics as well. Why don't you tell me, sort of what your perception of Ellie was? Like, what did you find out when you first, heard about Ellie and who she is?
Well, Ellie is 14, and she's only grown up in the quarantine zone, and hasn't seen the outside world. But in that, it's obviously still very rough and very different from anything that we know. So she's not your regular 14-year-old girl by any means. And yeah, so when I auditioned for it, I didn't approach it as that she was 14. She's kind of like an adult. But yeah, so that's, I guess, the setup for Ellie.
Broad strokes for Joel.
Yeah, I think there's one key thing that I really tuned into when I saw the audition sides for Joel. And it was a line that said, he has few moral lines left to cross. And to me, that was a very profound statement to make about anybody, because in order for you to get to that place, there would have to be some really traumatic things happen in your life for that to be said of you. And so to me, that's been the anchor that I've kind of tied myself to. It's allowed me to kind of move around in that space and develop Joel, and especially in this world, in this post-pandemic world where all of humanity has been ravaged by this cordyceps fungus. The need for relationships is critical, because that's how you survive. And Joel, being very much of a loner, when this girl comes into his life, it completely changes who he is as a person. That's kind of the overall story of the game. And there's actually a clip that we're going to show you guys that talks about how important these relationships are. And in this world, things that are pedestrian and mundane and trivial to us are actually very, very critical for your survival in this. And in this scene that we're going to show you, you're actually going to meet a character named Bill, who is someone that is the guy you go to if you need something. And you'll see in this how trust is important in this world, and even a relationship with a friend that you think you can trust, when you introduce an unknown element, how much that situation can change. Check it out.
Man, that was close. Thanks for the heroics and all. Ellie. Hey, what are you... Joel?
Bill!
What are you doing?
Bill!
Let me go.
Turn around and get on your knees.
Just calm down a second.
Turn around
All right.
and get on your knees. Don't test me.
Just take it easy.
Any bites?
Oh.
Anything sprouting?
Oh, God damn it, I'm clean!
If I see so much as a breath. Ow! Stop! Son of a bitch!
You done?
Am I done? You come into my house, you set off all my traps, you damn near break my shooting arm. Who the fuck is this punk and what's she doing here?
I am none of your goddamn business, and we're here because you owe Joel some favors. And you can start by taking these off.
I owe Joel some favors. Is some kind of joke?
I'll cut to the chase. I need a car.
Well, it is a joke. Joel needs a car. Well, if I had one that works, which I sure as hell don't, what makes you think I'd just give it to you? Huh? Yeah, sure, Joel, go ahead. Take my car. Take all my food, too, while you're at it.
By the looks of it, you could lose some of that food.
Listen to me, you little shit.
No, fuck you! You handcuffed me!
I need you to shut up. All right?
Whatever favors you think I owe you ain't worth that much.
Actually, Bill, they are.
Well, it don't matter, because I don't have a car that works.
But there is one in this town.
Parts. There are parts in this town.
Meaning that you could fix one up.
All right. I'm gonna do this. There's some gear I'm gonna need.
All right.
It's on the other side of town. Now you help me go gather it, and maybe I can put something together that runs. But after this, I owe you nothing.
That's fine. A couple of days from now, we'll probably be dead anyway.
Good. Follow me. Whole goddamn town's booby trapped. Best stay right on my ass.
Can't miss it.
Knock it off.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah. The thing that I love about this scene is the way that it starts off is immediately, that's the first introduction you've had to the game, you can tell that tension is kind of a thematic thing that runs throughout the entire game. We start off running away from a threat. We'll let you discover in the game what it actually is. But how quickly someone who is a friend to me, when there's a possibility of his safety being threatened, how quickly that friend becomes a possible foe. And it was such an amazing experience. I don't know if you guys, well, I'll leave that for a little surprise later. Who played Bill in that scene later? So.
Well, when Neil finishes writing the script for, let's say, the scene, and he emails it off to you two, what happens next?
Typically, within about 15 minutes, Neil knows that he's going to expect a phone call from me because he's made himself so accessible to both of us, and we really have the chance to sit down and talk about the scenes beforehand. And she and I will probably, independently, because we'll get the scenes a few days beforehand before we rehearse. And we'll just sit and kind of digest because there's a lot of content. There's not one scene that's a filler. There's not one that isn't incredibly purposeful and serves the story. And well, it's like to take us through a typical day. What do we do?
Yeah, typical day. Usually we'll get the sides, the script for maybe
5-6 scenes.
Yeah, 5-6 scenes. A couple days before.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a day of just rehearsal, where we'll sit around a table. If it's just a scene with the two of us, then we'll sit around a table with just us and Neil. And we'll just go over it for hours at a time, go through the script, go through the dialogue, and just really work it out, see what works, what doesn't work.
Ask a lot of questions.
Ask a lot of questions, yeah. And then we go to the stage, which we're right next to the stage. We'll go to the stage where we'll actually be shooting, working, and we'll put it up on its feet, and we'll rehearse it. We'll block it out. If you have to go through this door, that'll be over here. If you have to shoot somebody, you'll use this gun. So that's all. That's pretty much what we do. And then the next day, we'll actually put on the suit and we'll go to work.
So what's really cool is about having that day of rehearsal to work through the logistics, so that we're not focused on the physicality of the stage and where we're actually supposed to run down these stairs and burst through this door. It gives us the freedom to really spend those 2 days of filming to really focus on the emotional aspect, the dramatic aspect of what those scenes are trying to say, and all those slight little moments that make that moment really have weight. We have the opportunity to really spend time and sussing those out. So that rehearsal day is incredibly